Welcome back to the 1330 WRAM Morning Show. We are joined in the studio this hour by James Azzi. He is a senior business economics major with Monmouth College and from Sydney, Australia. Welcome, James.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you again. You and I have had a chance to work together while you were interning at the Greater Warren County United Way. So tell me about the internship.
I loved it. It was a bit of everything. I created an economic development plan for like an indoor kind of sports dome that we want to put in Monmouth. That is still in the works and hopefully comes out. But I also helped in the Hispanic festival that they did. I kind of helped in creating more of a multicultural Monmouth, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
Okay. And let's start with the indoor economic plan. Kind of tell us about it, how you found the need for what the Monmouth area is looking for.
Yeah, because the Monmouth area is so multicultural, we got so many people from South America, Asia, and the one thing that kind of brings everyone together is sports and in general soccer. And because of the weather, I guess, and you can't really use the outdoor fields for 5-6 months a year, the need for like an indoor field was necessary. And I think that not only for the sports side of things, but it can be used for the Hispanic festival if we need to, for other events that want to come to Monmouth. And yeah, Jeannie was speaking to me about it, and I thought it would, and I would just love to help with that. So
we appreciate your help. You had a fantastic layout for us with MCAP, which is the Maple City Area Partnership. We're in charge of trying to work to provide the needs for the community, and this is one instance of that. And there's a lot that goes into it because, like you said, weather. Well,
Yep.
There's a reason we can't play outdoors 5 months of the year, but if you're going to play indoors, you've got to have heat too.
Correct. So it's a tricky situation. So that's when I went up to Burlington and spoke to them about their dome there and had an interview with the manager. And he was talking about how they put in solar panels, which really offset the price for like heating and stuff like that. And they wish they did that earlier. But yeah, so it is a bit of a tricky situation because you do have to have heating in there. And then if you want to play in the months of like the summer months, you got to have, I guess, cooling in there as well because it will get pretty hot. So yeah, it is a pretty tricky situation, but then again, you can play for 12 months of the year. So
Right. And we're talking about millions of dollars.
Yeah. So the one in Burlington originally cost them around the 2 to 3 mark, but that was nearly 7-8 years ago. So we're looking, a bit more than that now. And I guess it just depends of how big you want it and what you want to do inside of it.
Well, even when you are not going to be with us, meaning you've graduated and moved on, we'll make sure to keep you posted.
Oh, yes, please.
Because it was very helpful what you did. And that's the beauty of an internship, the ability to take what you're learning on campus, which in your case is business economics, how to apply it to the real world. And the real world has challenges like red tape with hoops to jump through with government, IDOT, all these different parameters.
Yes, there's a lot of permission that you'd need to get, licenses that you need to get to do it. Then there's a whole bunch of people that would need to see if the ground is sustainable for it, and then you got to lay out the platform, and then you got there's a whole lot of things that go into it, which I found out while I was doing the economic development plan for it.
Well, if you learn from it, that's what we were hoping for.
Yes.
And you were helping a community at the same time. So does Monmouth feel like home, away from home?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I know like so many people on campus, and I've become such great friends with so many of them that it honestly, I would say I used to get homesick for the first semester or two, but to be honest, even that first semester or two, not really, because there was already 6-7 other Australians on campus, so it honestly, it just felt like home. So I was fine with it.
So you said 6 or 7 Australians plus yourself.
Yes.
So how did you guys make your way to Monmouth College and into this little hometown?
So I think the guys on the soccer team were all through the same program that I went through. And so the person that I went through, Matt Wade, was very good friends with Cooden Johnson, who was the former coach and my freshman year soccer coach. And basically they just got in contact and said, look, there's another 2 Australians. Me and Kai Jones came over, and we joined the team, and there was already 4 other Australians at that time on the team.
Okay, good. We're glad you came.
Yeah.
Now, did you know when you were in high school that you wanted to go somewhere else for college?
I think I knew probably my senior year of high school that I wanted to go and kind of experience something a bit different and challenge myself, I guess. Because I spoke to a couple of friends that know people that did something like that, and they really enjoyed it. And I went overseas my senior year to Spain, and I did like a month over there in Madrid, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, I wanted to kind of just experience something else.
Okay, so let's start with tell us about you and where you're from and your family a little bit. It's always fun to learn about other people.
Okay, so I was born in Sydney, Australia, but my dad is Lebanese. He was born in Beirut, Lebanon. He moved over to Australia when he was 18. And my mum was born in Australia, but her parents are Greek-Turkish. So very multicultural. And my uncle's Indian. So I've got a bit of everything.
Okay. Family? Got brothers or sisters?
I've got one brother, yeah. He's 18. He's also looking to come over to the States. He's a basketball player, taller than me, bigger than me. So used to be able to beat him up, not anymore.
Not anymore. That's how it goes, right? Yeah. And does he know where he wants to go yet? What state or?
Not yet.
But he wants to play ball, right?
He wants to play ball, or he wants to do like a kind of little coaching role, I think, something like that as well.
Okay, good. So you made your way here 4 years ago.
Yep.
Okay. What'd you think of our small town when you got here?
It kind of took me by surprise because obviously, like growing up in Sydney, which is such a big city, I've never been accustomed to something like this. So when I came over here, I was pretty shocked, but at the same time, I had so much going on at the college that it really I didn't really go out much, to be honest, at all. Like, I had training twice a day coming in. We had school, all the freshman stuff that you have to do, things like that. So to be honest, I liked as I lived here, I liked the small town feel of it. But at the same time, I also do miss the big city.
Sure. Well, the amenities are there, the food, the nightlife, the things like that in Sydney. Weather? How different was the weather?
Oh, the weather was the thing I struggled with the most. It's never snowed once in Sydney. So coming over here and seeing how cold it gets, I still struggle with it now. It's such a shock to the body, but I don't mind it, to be honest. I don't mind it when it snows and stuff. But the weather was pretty hard. Being able to go to the beach all the time back home was nice. But it's all right.
Here it's about a 14-hour drive to the beach. Well, I guess you could go up to Lake Michigan in Chicago.
Maybe, yeah.
But it's a little different than going to the Gulf or something like that. Have you got out much in the States since you've been here? Yeah,
so I've been to LA. I've got a cousin in Seattle that I've seen twice. I've got friends in New York that I went and saw. And then went to spring break last year in Miami. And when I came over my freshman year, me and my dad did a little road trip. So we got a car in New York, drove to Chicago, Philadelphia, Detroit, things like that.
Had to hit all the big cities, huh?
Exactly.
Where's your favorite place so far in the U.S.?
I think New York.
Bustling.
Yeah. I love that kind of like the city never sleeps kind of feel. So I'd go with New York.
It'd be funny if I interviewed you 25 years later to see what you would have to say. You might say like Delavan, Wisconsin, where it's quiet and it's funny though when you're young and city that never sleeps. Stuff's always happening. Okay, we're talking with James Azzi. He is a senior business economics major at Monmouth College, who also interned here locally, working on some projects for us here in the community. James, so we talked about the weather was different. How was food? Was it different?
The food was different as well. Because my dad's a chef, so growing up, I was quite lucky with all the food that I've ate and I eat when I'm back home. So coming here was a bit of a shock, but at the same time, I was able. The cafe is great in that you can kind of pick how healthy you want to be. So during season, I make sure that I'm eating pretty healthy to keep my body in shape and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, it's not too bad.
Plus, you guys have way more access to good seafood.
That's
tough here, being landlocked.
Yes, I love seafood, but Yeah, I mean, we get a fish a few times a week at the CAF, so it's all right.
Okay, good. What was your favorite food here that you kind of picked up on that you liked?
I liked deep dish.
Pizza.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like pizza, right?
I love it.
I mean, pizza and
the
sports.
pizza here, the pizza here is better than back home. I'll give you that for sure.
I bet your dad could make it if he's a chef.
I'm sure he could. We got a little pizza oven, so maybe we'll use that when we get back.
There you go. So you get graduation here soon.
Yes, in May.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
We won't stay on it long because it's in the past, but that was tough coming over here, being away from family and COVID hitting.
Yeah, COVID hitting was really hard because so that happened in my spring semester of my freshman year, and I remember just getting emails from the college when we were on spring break about how they're extending spring break, extending it, and then an email that was like, you have 48 hours to come back to college, get all your stuff and get out of here. And then I was just like on the phone to my parents, like not too sure what to do. So they put me on like the last flight out of LA back to Brisbane. So I remember I just had like 24 hours. I was in LA at the time, went back to Chicago, got all my stuff from the college, went back to LA, and then got on that flight. And then, that was like a year and a half went by, and then luckily the borders opened up again and I was able to come back.
Well, good. Glad you came back. What's next for you, James, after graduation?
Well, I've applied for my OPT, which is post-graduation work. So I'm going to try and work for one more year in the States. Ideally, I do want a bit of a bigger city. So I'm going to try find jobs in the next month or so and stay here for one more year and then see what happens from there.
Okay. What's the dream job for James?
To be honest, I'm not too sure what the dream job is for me. I think the dream job would have to be something to do with sports and business or economics, statistics. That would be the dream. But to be honest, I'm not too fussed at the moment.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you being here and contributing to the community. And you're going to contribute again. We're planning on having you do a Monmouth Roseville girls soccer game.
Sounds good.
That way you get one last
Sounds good.
touch of soccer into before you head off into the next endeavor for you. Thank you for being here, and
thank you.
Congratulations on graduation, and hopefully your family gets to come over and gets to see. Have they been here yet?
My dad has my freshman year, and he's coming over for graduation as well again.
Okay, good.
So he'll be here May the 10th or something like that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good luck, James.
Alrighty, thank you for having me.
That is James Azzi with us, a senior